Welcome to Gittone Stadium on October 20th, 2018 for homecoming here at Vineland High. There are many activities going on today, but the big thing is the game between Washington Township Minutemen, who are 2-4, and the Vineland High School Fighting Clan, who are 2-5. My name is John Parentazzi. I'm your color man, and my partner, who always does a great job, Rich Scarpa, will do the play-by-play. And before I turn it over to him,
Well,
it's a
Coach,
beautiful day.
when you turn it over to me, it looks like we have some dignitaries, local dignitaries, coming out for this homecoming. As previously introduced was Superintendent Mary Gruccio and Assistant Superintendent Nate Fry and Paul Spinelli, President of City Council, and some more dignitaries coming through. Before we'll have the introductions of the Blitz Football League, Vineland's Junior Football League, one of two. Previously, we had the Vineland Midget Football League. So we're going to turn it over to PA announcer Elliot DeShields for the introductions of the future of Vineland football right now.
First of all, we have the freshman Blitz cheerleaders and the freshman coach, Miss Samantha Goff.
Okay, I'm ready. Breathe in, breathe out, shake that out, speed up, go fast, slow down, breathe in, breathe out, shake that out, speed up.
The sophomore Blitz cheerleaders and sophomore coach, Jen Dickerson.
Million, Army, J-Z, count off, pay.
The junior Blitz cheerleaders and junior coach, Ashley Lewis. And the senior Blitz cheerleaders and senior coach, Amy Pace.
Shake it out, speed up, go fast, slow down, breathe in, breathe out, shake it out, speed up, go fast, slow down.
The freshman Blitz football team and freshman coach, Chris Morgan.
Count off, pay me. Wow. If I'm bored, rock star, that's a course. White girl like large, she don't really get too impressed. The card, long as she get her beauty rest, then I'm a bar. Got that.
The sophomore Blitz football team and coach, Paris Kinsey.
Shake it out, speed up, go fast, slow down, back it up, rock it up, turn it, back it up, 30 nails, hammer top.
The junior Blitz football team and junior coach, Pierre St. Jean.
Shake it out, speed up, go fast, slow down, breathe in, breathe out. Shake it out, speed up, go fast, slow down. Boom, 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 J-Z, count out, pay me, brother, got the strict farm.
And the senior Blitz football team and senior coach, Nick Basil. And special thanks again to Mr. Nick Basil, president of the Blitz, for all of your support. Plans. Let's clap it up for the 2018 Vineland High School football team.
welcome back.
Just a reminder again to everyone that's in attendance, I'll be reading
As all the festivities that they had, the pregame festivities have now been concluded. And before I turn it over to Rich, who will talk to you a little bit about the lineups and the games and so forth, it's been a beautiful day here, and homecoming, Rich has barely brought back a lot with the floats and the homecoming queen. They're all down there, and I'm really happy to see this transformation back to good times here.
Yeah, in the past it was a big deal, as we only played on Saturdays, and homecoming was big. Each class would make a float. We'd have additional ones also that came in. But it's nice that in the past few years they've been able to bring back that tradition. We have about 4 floats parked outside of the gate, Coach.
Now to announce our officials for today's matchup. Our referee is Robert Ritterelli. The umpire is Cody
So as we get ready to go today, it's Vineland. Win and you're in. A win gets them in the playoffs at 3-5, which sounds like, oh my gosh, they're 3-5. But let's look at the number 1 seed in South Jersey Group 5 is Williamstown. We attempted a field goal in the fourth quarter to tie them up right there with them before we lost at the end. That's a common thread, but this team has played with people. Rancocas Valley, ranked number 2 in South Jersey Group 5. We were tied at 22s late in the fourth quarter last week. And Lenape is ranked number 3 in Group 5. So your top 3 teams are teams Vineland has played with and can beat. In that Lenape game, of course, Vineland mounts a comeback and has the ball inside the 20 as they fumble it away with under 2 minutes to go on a game-winning drive. Now, for Washington Township, it's been kind of an uphill battle. They do a lot of running of the football. They average, and they've been losing, and they've given up 40 points twice, 30 points twice also. But they really don't get into desperation and just heave the ball around the field, throwing the ball about 7 times a game, not much more than that. Their leading rushers are the running back, Andrew Nosilly, with 91 carries for 527 yards, just under 6 yards a carry. And quarterback
VHS Football program would like to recognize
Roger Baldacci. Is that how we're saying that one, Coach? I asked you pregame.
Yep.
Baldacci. So Baldacci is 49 carries for just under 300 yards, 600 a game, throws 6 passes a game. And they just try to move the ball on the ground mostly. One thing that they have a hard time with is stopping the run, Coach, as we've seen on film. This could be a little different than the Ryan Shelton breakout that we've been seeing with his passing attempts.
Rich, I watched them 3 times, 3 games. And what I saw was they can be exciting or bad. In one series of downs, they look terrific. Next series of downs, they go backwards. So I don't know which team's going to show up today. I hope the good Vineland team shows up. So we have like you said, this would be a great stepping stone. This is actually our last game. You know, a lot of people don't realize that we started early, and therefore we end today. Now we have to wait to see what the state tells us to do. As I talked to you earlier, Rich, there are going to be 16 teams from Central Jersey South. We'll be in that mix, but they may send us to Central Jersey to play.
Yeah, we could have a long ride. Definitely needed to get one of those 3 wins that I mentioned earlier against the top 3 teams that we dropped. So today Vineland's playing to get in. Looks to be if they win, they'll be a 5 seed and be on the road for that first week of playoffs. As Coach mentioned, yes, last scheduled game before Thanksgiving, which of course is always Millville, and we'll be back here for that one. But because Vineland started early, their bye week is actually next week. So next week's a complete week with no games. Then the state will tell us that we're in the playoffs and where we're going to go play, or if possible, not in the playoffs and where we're playing at. So either way, next week is the off week. State playoff game most likely the week following. And then, of course, you win, you keep playing in that, and Millville on the horizon for Thanksgiving.
One of the things I found out, Rich, is that if we don't make it, we play in a consolation game, which is the week of the first tournament game. And that After that, you can schedule another game if you can find someone who will play you. So you're building up a lot of games in that open space that we have. You could be playing 2 more games before Thanksgiving.
Which to me makes sense and is nice. I mean, you have a team that you had a lot of turnover at key positions for you, and the more time you get for these underclassmen, just the better they're going to be. Vineland's going to be getting the ball first, so we see the captains out there. Let's talk a little bit about what's been going on with Vineland. Offensively, they haven't quite put together the 4 quarters that they're looking for, but they've played some halves of football where they're basically unstoppable. Shelton right now is 7th in the 93-team West Jersey Football League in passing. Shelton, 91 completions on 165 attempts for 1,076 yards. And what's interesting to that, Vineland's overall total passing the ball is 1,076, and they've rushed the ball for 1,076. So split right down the middle. We'll quiet down for the national anthem. So Vineland offense going to get it first in this one. We mentioned a couple players for Rancocas. They've lost to Williamstown 34-7. They have wins over Atlantic City and Egg Harbor Township. So a couple of rebuilding programs they've gotten wins over. But this township team from the mid-'80s through almost currently has really been one of the more premier established programs. A little bit on a downturn now with a coaching change a couple of years ago. But when we talk about playing with the best teams, which Vineland has done this year, but not getting those wins, as a program, you want to make sure you're still ahead of that next level of teams. And this is a game that hopefully will show that. The last 2 times Vineland and Washington Township have played have been in the consolation games that Coach has mentioned, with Vineland coming away with victories in both, once on a snowy field at Washington Township.
Are you ready for some football?
Rich, there was a gentleman named Tom Brown when I was the head coach of Vineland. He was so unique. It was unbelievable. He sat in the booth like we do and coached the game from up top. It's first coach I ever saw do that. And his teams were terrific. We played them in the early 80s. It was one of the best games. And we were fortunate to beat Washington Township.
And Brown was there forever. One of, if not in the Hall of Fame for coaching, football coaching in South Jersey, certainly knocking on the door.
Yeah, he brought Washington Township to the level that they were a really good program.
So this one's going to be a short one. Taken right at the 27 and squirting forward to about the 39, where Vineland's offense will take over. A little bit of a change on that Vineland offense. Let's look at today's starting lineup. Sophomore running back number 3, Jonathan Toney. Junior wide receiver, 81, Conrad Jackson. Senior tight end and captain, 84, Anthony Reyes. Junior wide receiver, number 22, Tyreen Powell. Senior right guard and captain, number 70, Mike Bachma. Senior right tackle, 74, Brandon Anderson. Senior left guard, 64, Shane Eckert. Sophomore left tackle, 77, Dutra. And the first play is going to be that sweep, trying to get to the outside, and wrestled down goes Tony for a loss of a couple.
Tony on the carry. He was stopped on the play.
Freshman running back number 1, Anthony Arthur. Junior quarterback number 10, Ryan Shelton, who threw for 1,000 yards last week, getting just over that. And senior center, number 72, Dan Medina.
Rich, we have a different quarterback in. Sheldon is not in a quarterback.
So starting with Barry Turner back there. Turner, who's been starting on the defensive side and playing great. Shelton stands on the sideline with his helmet on his head, so he appears to be healthy. And this time Turner takes it through the middle, and he's going to pick up the yards that were lost, setting up 3rd and 10.
It's just one of Vineland's bread and butter plays, that quarterback draw. Turner did a good job getting back the yards they lost. This is a surprise. We got all the changes. We didn't get that one, though.
Yeah, not on our newly issued starting lineups provided by the Vineland sideline. So Turner ready. Juggles the snap. He's back to throw. He steps up. There's a flag, hits the field, and he floats it just off the fingertips of Tony, but there is a flag back at the 35-yard line. Probably going to be a hold on Vineland, and it is. And that'll be declined, so Vineland will be forced to punt as Nate Snell comes in to try to handle this off the Medina snap.
Turner did a real good job on that, Rich. He broke out of the pocket, and he made the linebackers go after him. Just a little overthrown.
It's a good snap. Kick nearly blocked, but it gets away. There's a clip on Blakely. No flag. Takes a real nice Vineland roll. Looks like it's going to go inside the 10 to the 9-yard line where it's down by Blakely. So Schnell gets it away. Takes a nice hop for Vineland as they're going to start Washington Township back inside their own 10. So the punt makes that a successful drive for Vineland. Even though they don't get a first down and net 0 yards, they've gained the field position here. Vineland's kickoffs, they usually just a little fly ball short to around the 35. Most teams start around the 40 on Vineland. So a positive gain of 31 yards.
There's an example, Rich, we talk about. You got to catch the punt. We gained 25 yards on that punt.
Baldacci gives over the middle, hit immediately, but driving forward for about 3.
Washington Township ball carrier brings the ball across the 10.
Real nice play in the middle of the line there.
To about the 12.
No silly on that carry.
He's 2nd down to 7. Ball spot at 12.
Oh, they picked the pace up, Rich. They go without a huddle.
Now to pass. Nocelli floats it high and complete, it appears. And incomplete or complete?
No, complete.
Complete.
First down.
Is completed. So first down, Brandon Leone with the reception, the tight end, wide receiver.
Ball spotted at the 21.
This time Baltacci's going to keep it himself, but he turns back into the middle, and that's a place where most people don't run on the Fighting Clan.
Number 12 on the carry.
Anchored down by nose tackle George Robinson. 55, Jameer Malloy, the other tackle spot. Breaking a few, and it's going to be close to another first down this time. Is no silly.
He got it, Rich.
Ball be spotted at the 32. Ball carries number 34.
Bachman's in at the one end spot. Is right now big yards on the rushing attack for Township as they convert another first down.
But Rich, that's 3 in a row. They started on their 9 and they're out. They're out to the 43. Pretty good running.
It's a trap, but this time Bachman there from
Bachman,
behind.
34. Stopped on the play by number 30. That was making 10.
Rich, you know what's I think is upsetting to us? I didn't see this in the film where they went without a huddle. I think the pace is getting us a little bit.
Thrown, hit, juggled, and dropped. Great
Nice
underneath
play.
and over top as Blackwell comes under. Tyreen Powell
Powell.
over the top, and they knock it away. Going to make it 3rd and 9.
Powell made a real good play on that, Rich. Went right to the ball.
Boy, Vineland really loads their defense with some athletes, with all these linebackers and just a 3-down lineman. And on 3rd and long situations, that's a big help. Possible false start, and it is on the offense, so that's going to make it 3rd and 13. Rest of that official Vineland starting defense. Senior defensive tackle Anthony Reyes. He's been playing at linebacker, though. Junior linebacker Barry Turner. Number 7, senior linebacker Isaiah Blakely. Number 33, Phil Blackwell, senior linebacker. Senior linebacker 56, J.J. Delgado. Sophomore linebacker Lathan Kent. Defensive backs Nazir Broom, Nashawn Gregory, and Tyreen Powell.
Oh, that's a motion.
So
Oh, they
the
didn't
pass.
pick that up.
Thrown short and incomplete. Blakely in great coverage as he knocks out Jaden Allen out of bounds. Now Township will be punting. Looks like Vineland's going to send a couple people back as Otis Harold and Jonathan Toney go back to about the 20 to try to return this punt.
Rich, they're too deep. I watched this kid in punting. He kicks it about 25 yards.
And it's blocked. Broom blocks it. Vineland dives on it as Blackwell covers it up at the 22. But it was Nazir Broom who busts through and makes the block of the punt. It gets Vineland great field position for the Vineland offense and himself, one of Vineland's leading rushers this year.
Please go out and vote for your favorite float. Take your ticket right underneath the digital scoreboard and vote for your favorite float. Is it the freshman class, junior class, senior class, or sophomore class? Cast your vote.
Rich,
So now Shelton back in alongside of Arthur. Shelton gives to Arthur, and he's hit immediately before he can even take a step forward. Shelton tried to take it back, but he wasn't going to get anywhere either.
47, Rich, of Washington Township. He blitzed on that play. He
That's Tyrese Payton.
Boy, he made a blitz from that right side. You know, it's funny, he ran right into the ball carrier.
Ball spot 29.
So Vineland ready to go. As I mentioned, it's Shelton back in there. And he stands by himself looking to throw. Pressure. It's picked up. He buys some time and floats it.
Beautiful.
Otis Harrell with the catch makes a move to the inside. He's down inside the 10 at the 8. Nice job by Otis Harold finding that hole and keep it moving and get available for Shelton on the rollout.
That's what Shelton does. He puts a lot of pressure on the defense, Rich. He breaks out of that pocket. They don't know if he's going to run or pass.
So 1st and goal, Fighting Clan. Shelton's going to take it himself. Skips to the inside, but boy, is he hit as that play's cleaned up
Again.
ferociously
47.
by coach's guy, Tye Payton.
He's made 2 outstanding defensive plays.
Payton's a senior, listed only at 5'8", 180, but the thing I saw hit him there looked about 6'1", 230.
Yeah.
You know, he plays big and really great pad level and short tackling. Nazir Broom in the backfield. Shelton fakes it, looks to Reyes, and it goes incomplete as Reyes was going to be short of the end zone. Defended well by Anthony Hill. Now, as we get third down and goal here, I also mentioned place kicker Henry Garton, who established the school record with a 36-yarder. He is back and able to play today. Had some issues, Coach was telling me, with his hand or fingers and had to get some surgery done. So he was out last week, but he's in there today with a special little brace and cast on his hand. But Vineland love to get it in. Shelton throws behind Powell on a slant. Incomplete.
Boy, Washington Townships, they're not adverse to blitzing. Being ahead, they had everybody coming on that one.
Well, maybe they want to speed up Shelton's thought, and also a couple new people down there on the line in different spots. And it's going to be Garton for the kick. This will be a 25-yarder. There's a slight breeze at Garton's back, kind of heading straight down the middle of the field. High snap. It's placed down in time. Garton connects and gets it through for the field goal. Welcome back, Henry Garton.
All right.
In the first quarter, the Fighting Clan of Vineland lead 3-0.
2 of 2 for his last 2 field goals, and I believe 8 of 9 in extra points. And when we talk about 8 of 9, he missed one. There's so many pieces between the snap, the hold, and the kick, yet alone the blocking up front that can mess with everything. So just been an outstanding production as Garton has taken over the kicking duties.
For your favorite float. Please cast them before halftime.
Last week, Vineland had to overcome a missed extra point by converting 2 two-point conversions.
Senior class, freshman class, and sophomore class. Float.
On Huddle last night on Channel 6, I watched 3 games decided by missed extra points. 3 of them, not one. Hamilton was one game, and there was 2 other ones where they missed, I guess you would call shanks. Call them whatever you want in golf.
Talking to our newspaper buddy, Tom McGurk, he was at that Hamilton game and said it was a strange thing. The kicker really shanked an extra point, shanked another one, and when they should have went for 2, and then his foot hits the ball in the last play of the game trying to get a field goal to win it, and that one doesn't come out really well. So kid having a bad night, and then you keep putting him in the position, but it didn't pay off for them. So Robert Aparicio is going to kick this one. And it's that short fly ball. A little bit of space in the middle. Spins once. Spins twice, now to the top of the screen. It's Jonathan Toney and the ball carrier, and then help comes from behind. But a very patient return by Billy Holman.
He made a good move into the pack, and when that pack jammed up, he took it to the outside. That was a pretty good move.
Yeah, he used 3 spin moves on that return, and they all worked out great for him. Fortunately, the backside pursuit from Vineland, as Toney slows him up a little bit, is able to bring him down before Township gets an easy one. Baldacci gives. Strung out and dropped. Gain of about 1 on the play by Nosili.
Blakely made a good play on that, Rich. He came up, did exactly what he was supposed to do. Didn't let him get outside.
This time a give right up the middle. Malloy dives in from the edge to trip him up and falls forward, picks up a few more. It's going to be 3rd and about 6. Township still moving quickly.
3rd down, 3rd about 6 yards to go for the first.
But they have a good pace, Rich, Washington Township. I did not see this in the film.
It looks like Vineland jumps off sides. It's going to make it 3rd and short. His linebacker pressure was coming, and one of the 2 stepped over that line. So it's going to be 3rd and 1.
You know what Rich this does? Gives Township 2 cracks at that first down. No one, 2.
Balducci takes it himself. He's going to have the first down, but there's a flag on the field.
There is a flag on the play.
Whoa, a hold. Boy, that was called from the side judges. A hold on the backside of the play where you really don't need anything to happen. A silly hold on Township. I think there's 2 holding calls on Township on this one. So one's on the 20 and one's on the 15. They need to come over to this flag. That's 5 more yards. And they picked that one up. So it'll be 3rd down again. So it was formation on the 20, which would have only brought him back to the 25, taking the hold and moves him back to the 26, which will make it 3rd down and a long 10. Township tries to draw Vineland off again, trying to get those 5 yards back. That doesn't happen. No, silly gets nowhere on that one.
That was a strange call, Rich.
A whole new personnel. So this will be a long field goal try. It'll be a 40-yard attempt, 41-yard attempt. I'm playing a fake here, Coach.
I did not watch them. I watched the punter pregame. I did not see this young man kick.
And it's a low line drive going to fall short and harmlessly in the end zone. Vineland will take over at their 20. So the defense holds after the nice kick return, sets Township up in plus position. Township has a 3rd and 1, and penalties pushed them back. And the field goal goes no good. We have 3:42 to go in the first quarter. Shelton and Broom in the backfield. Reyes comes back in tight. There's a gift to Broom, and he's hit right away with nowhere to go. That was Rocco Matanzaro, the senior. They got him as defensive end, but he was playing linebacker on that one as he filled nicely to make the stop. So no gain, 2nd and 10. Shelton in the middle, complete to Tony. Spins off one tackle and is brought down after a completion of about 16 yards for the first down at the Vineland 37.
Boy, I like that one, Rich. Shelton just dropped straight back, picked up a receiver and threw the ball. No hesitation. You know, and that's in doing that, he has no pressure on him either.
Tony comes into the game as the leading receiver. Had a big week last week with over 100 receiving yards. Shelton the throw again. Hits it to Powell, and off his fingertips, incomplete. Tony right now with 264 yards leads the way in receiving yards for Vineland on 24 catches. Tyreen Powell, 22 catches, 255 yards. Vineland also has Jackson with 183 yards, Harold with 124, Reyes with 114. So Shelton spreads the ball around.
Township's coming, Rich. They got the blitz pass. Oh, they backed out.
Throw it, let a little too much, goes incomplete.
Basketball is complete. Brings a third down.
That one intended for Tony again. So 3rd and 10. So you mentioned Tony's building his gaudy receiving numbers. You know, last year's freshman lead running back had a touchdown last year on the varsity field also as a rusher. And now working his way into the backfield as Vineland has some younger players in the sophomore Tony and the freshman Arthur back there. Shelton back to pass. He spins off some early pressure, floats it in and out of the hands of Reyes as he takes a shot. The second he hits it is Joe McKillop is there to make the play, and Vineland will be punting again. The last punt by Snell was outstanding, going back to the 9-yard line where Township took over.
Rich Sheldon does a great job throwing the ball on the run. He threw across his body that time, and it was a pass that should have been caught. You know. They came close last time, Rich.
Yes, they did, Coach. And here they come again. And a booming kick's going to go over the head of the return man. Hit it to 10. Roll down to the 5. And down at the 2. Nate Snell, what a punt. An outstanding job as he boots it over the return man's head. And it's down right at the 1-yard line. That's 2 real nice runs from Snell, who's been under pressure back there.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I believe Bachman did the snapping on those 2. Nice job on that.
I'll tell you what, Rich. He getting that punt off in a split second before they're getting to him.
Well, if he was punting last year, he certainly wouldn't have been this good, because last year with that schedule and that offense, some games we wouldn't even have to punt.
No.
So now's a chance for the defense, without their back to the wall, to make a stop and get good field position for your offense. Last time, Township from their own 9 just powered the ball out and got to midfield. They double team up front on Reyes, and the support's there as Blakely dives down to the bottom. Maybe a gain of a yard, 2nd and 9 from the 2.
That's that linebacker carrying the ball, Rich. What's his name?
34, no silly?
No, 47. He made some good.
Hit in the backfield. He dives forward and gets out of the end zone. Back to the 1-yard line, 3rd and 10 from the 1. The Vineland pressure is not allowing any belly or counter play in there. They've got to get straight up into the line.
Be careful on these slants, Rich. They were wide open last time.
Sit on the slant, let them throw it up the sideline.
Powell could really pick this one off.
And throwing it deep, up the seam, over the head, and incomplete. Powell in great coverage. That one there, intended for Bryce Kramer, goes incomplete, so now Township's going to have to punt from their own 1-yard line. Otis Harold and Jonathan Toney, 3 and 4, back to return. They're standing in plus territory at the 44-yard line of Washington Township as we have 1:03 to go in the first quarter.
We blocked the last one. This time he's only got 11 yards.
That's a great point because the pressure came right up through the middle. Let's see if we can find 34 Broom. He's got the pink sleeves on the bottom of the screen. He's the one that got in there last time. Oh, and it's a horrible short punt. And it's going to hit and go out of bounds at the 27-yard line. If you're Township, you're happy you got rid of it. But
I'm not sure they can get a piece of that, Rich. It looked like somebody got a hand on it.
It sounded a little weird.
Just a reminder again that Monday night will be senior night for Vineland High School soccer teams, both boys and girls will be playing right here at Gittone Memorial Stadium. Girls game starts at 5 o'clock p.m.
So just what the Vineland defense we mentioned needed to do is to help out that offense by making a stop deep in there. And this drive starts in great field position officially at the 28-yard line of Washington Township as Shelton stands alone. Shelton takes it himself up the middle. He's got Dutra in front, makes a move, tries to pick up a block, stays on his feet, wrestled down inside the 5. The big sophomore 77 Dutra leading the way for Shelton.
First and goal for the Fighting Clan of Vineland.
Now Shelton saying, let's hurry this up. 43 seconds to go. Shelton this time gives over the right side, losing about a yard on the play. Will go Arthur. Maybe he gains one. He's going to be at the 3-yard line. We'll probably have time for one more play with 25 seconds to go in the first quarter. Vineland signals it in. They want to get this one off. This is a part of the field that's been a little trouble for Vineland. They've not been able to punch it in when they're in tight like this. And here's Shelton, tippy toes, finds his way right to the goal line. And they're going to say he stopped inside the 1. 3, 2, and 1 seconds, and that's going to do it for the first quarter here. Coach, while we have this break, let's thank our sponsors as we get ready for the second quarter of Vineland High School homecoming.
The Red and Gray Gridiron Club would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of Vineland High School football team this season. Sir Speedy, Reconstructive Orthopedics, Ducharmes, the Greenview Inn at Eastland Golf Course, Newfield National Bank, Larry's 2 Restaurant and Caters, Allen Associates, Delsey ShopRite, Bella Limousine, Medio Law Firm, The Claridge, a Radisson Hotel, Technid Consulting, Vineland Education Association, Begel University, Manny and Vic's Pizzeria and Restaurant, MVP Sports Bar, Richling Carpet and Flooring, GNS Dry Cleaners, Carluzzo and Torrisi Petroleum Transporters, Bondi Insurance Agency, Dr. Gorson General and Cosmetic Dentistry, Baruffi Brothers, Beretta Plumbing, Heating and Cooling,
Luciano Medical, Van Dodge, and Homestead Plumbing and Heating.
The Vineland High School football team and coaches thank everyone for their support on and off the field and look forward to another successful season.
Welcome back. Started the second quarter with Vineland High leading 3-0 with the ball on the 1-yard line. Rich?
And a third down and goal from the 1. Shelton picked up some yards but couldn't pop across the line.
Oh.
It looks like false start on Vineland. Weird reverse pivot happening in there too. That's going to push Vineland back, making it 3rd and goal.
False start in Vineland.
From right around the 7.
3rd and goal. Ball spot at 6.
Kind of liked it with Blackwell in there right on the 1 or 2 yard line. Now move back. Blackwell still stays in. He's kind of your in between the tackle runner. And it's going to be a fake to him. And Shelton's trying to get to the top of the screen and into the end zone. He outruns the defense and is in the end zone for the score for Vineland on the 7-yard run by Shelton. Nice blocking on that left side of the offensive line as they collapse the side. Play gets sucked in and Shelton just uses his legs. That's 77 Dutra, the sophomore, and senior left guard Shane Eckert. Outstanding job on that edge along with help from their tight end. So Garton to make it 10-0. It's a high snap and it's a high kick and it's going to be good. So with just 8 seconds into the second quarter, Vineland up 10-0. Township to get the ball.
Rich, that play was made by Sheldon. He dipped inside first and then dipped outside. So what that does is the linebackers now focus on him coming inside, and now they got to catch him as he gets to the corner.
And they're the little things that also help everybody make a block, because anybody that sees that head dip in, they lean that way, and it helps you seal that corner around there. Great job by our crew today. I'd like to thank everyone once again. Kayla Spire, Tanner Bushman, Jordan Skarzinski, crew chiefs Doug Diola and Ryan Steinbron, and executive producer of VPS TV is Gia Masori, the school district's public information officer. So as we get ready for that Vineland D to come back on, it was a great series last time out. That defense is led by Tyreen Powell with 55 tackles and 2 interceptions. Anthony Reyes, 43 tackles, 4 sacks. Phil Blackwell, 42 tackles. And Isaiah Blakely, 36. And as a former nose guard, I'd like to mention Robinson down there at nose. And when you don't run the middle, you don't get to tackle anybody. But the middle of that Vineland's defense with their nose tackle and their linebackers, no one's been able to run the ball in there, and a lot of people have stopped trying. It's a high one. Going to hit, and it's loose. And it looks like Township came back on top of it. But Vineland saying they have it. The official doesn't know where to point, and it's Vineland football. Indecision by the return team. And it's Broom again, comes up with a big play, has the football for Vineland as they're going to take over at the 25-yard line of Washington Township. I think the return team thought that may have been traveling towards out of bounds and decided to let it hit, but with a full burst of speed, that Vineland kickoff team delivers the shots, frees the ball, and Shelton set up again at the 25. Shelton floating it deep for Powell. He was tangled up, but kind of looked over the wrong shoulder at first.
He quit, Rich. He quit the pattern. You know, he looked back. If he had kept going, he would have been in better shape.
That one looked like it was there. He had about 4 yards to his left towards the sideline that could work himself into. So 2nd and 10. It's screen. Beautiful job blocking on the edge, but is that enough to free Arthur? Brandon Anderson had to seal that corner, number 74. And not only does he make a good block, he doesn't hold on it too, as that gets tempting as they start to get separation. But a positive gain, setting up 3rd and about 6. Jackson and Reyes at the bottom of the screen. Time to throw, complete to Reyes, who runs over a tackler down inside the 5. And we mentioned Reyes, who's battling back from injury. Yeah, he's a bear to bring down for sure, and somebody that isn't fun to tackle. And he sets Vineland up 1st and goal from inside the 5.
I like Sheldon throwing the ball today, Rich. He's not hesitating. There's no, he's positive.
And he's had time too, Coach. Really hasn't been under real quick pressure. A couple blitzes got through, but most of the time he has room to survey the field. Here's quarterback draw, and that's not going to go. It's going to be no gain. 2nd and goal from the 4.
Shelton on the carry.
It's a little harder to run quarterback draw when everybody's expecting a rush.
Again, 2nd and goal, ball spider right at the 5.
Yeah, Township really ganged up on the inside on that play.
Shelton to throw it. Buys some time and floats it off the fingertips of an open receiver as Jonathan Toney not able to pull it in. Misconnected by about half a yard as he was wide open coming out of his break. So 3rd and goal. Vineland's offense sputtered down inside the red zone the first time, and Garton kicked the field goal. The second time, They converted the touchdown on a 3rd down. Now it's 3rd and 5. 3rd and goal from the 5. Shelton to throw it again. He's looking for Powell late in the middle. He outruns the pressure. He's going to have to make a move to the end zone or float it in the air. And boy, talk about decisions and judgment as Tony finds a spot in the back of the end zone. It certainly looked like he had a shot of running that in. And as the team swarms, he puts on the brakes and floats it complete. Beautiful play to Tony for the score. Talk about leveraging a defense and taking them out of their place. If that defensive back doesn't come up to tackle him, he's running in the end zone. If you do, he pops it in. Pressure on the kick, but it's up and through and good. Garton converts again. So that's going to have Vineland up 17-0 with 9:35 to go in the second quarter.
In the second quarter, the Fighting Clan of Vineland lead 17-0.
Rich, we talked about Sheldon, what pressure he puts on the defense. He dropped straight back, couldn't find a receiver, and he sprinted. And he throws the ball well on the run. That's one of the really good attributes he has. I mean, a lot of people you see running, but his passes on the run are excellent.
Yeah, and I really think that uses his ability at its finest when he is attacking the line of scrimmage like that. You put people in a no-win situation defensively.
Well, last time we had a recovery of the kickoff. Should be interesting to see what happens here.
This time, the gentleman that it was kicked to is not in the game as there's a new player in that spot. It's Zach Andrews, number 8. Oh, big hit. That's what happens when you don't fair catch those. And there's a silly flag comes flying in. And they're going to make them pick that up. That is ridiculous. They're saying when he tackled him, he brought his forearm up. Hopefully, common sense gets the best of this, but it looks like it's not going to, as that was an outstanding football play. Hitting too hard on Vineland. The old Naheem Anderson penalty, as that is a joke.
Well, that's a big one, too. That's 15 yards, Rich.
And a joke. That official that threw that flag was at the 10-yard line on the far hash. One official was about 8 yards from the play, another about 15, and neither one threw their flag. So the man that was all the way back with no angle got to see that. That's a disgraceful call. So Township picks up 15 on that, and they're starting right by midfield. Baldacci goes to throw, and he floats it. Don't hit him too hard, but we tackle him after the catch down at the 22, or at the 27.
That's Andrew Lucille on the reception. Bring it 1st and 10. Again for Washington Township, the ball's being spotted at 28.
Like seeing Reyes back down at that end position. And there's Reyes from that end position, sniffing that out, loss on the play, along with everyone else. Delgado, of course, involved. Delgado had to sit the first handful of games, quickly moving his way up. The tackles for loss. He's just an all-over-the-field linebacker.
Loss of the play, 2 yards, he's up 2nd and 12.
So it's Reyes and Malloy at the defensive tackle / end spots. Reyes tracks that one down and makes the tackle at the ankles.
Ball carrier again is number 34.
When that's a compliment to Lathan Kent, who's in at linebacker now that Reyes moved up to that defensive line spot. And to have a sophomore like Kent in there doing the job, holding his ground, is just an added bonus for Vineland. Pressure, pass is complete, short, trying to break a tackle, and Powell cleans it up. Short of the first down, 4th and about 4.
Yeah, the secondary really came up quick on that. That's a quick hook, and you're hoping he breaks the tackle, but he didn't. He couldn't do it.
That's been one
Fourth
of the
down, 4th and 4, Rich.
4th and 4. That's one of the advantages of Vineland. That they're really good open field tacklers. See if Township tries to pull them off before they take a timeout and run a different play. And they're going to run one here. Throwing a slant complete in the middle of the field, making a couple people miss, still on his feet, brought down after the first down. Outstanding after the catch for Bryce Kramer. Plenty of time here, 7.5 minutes. We're just halfway through this second quarter.
Ball spot at the 5.
Baldacci takes it himself, and he's hit, and he's dropped right at the 5.
Ball goes number 12.
Delgado and Blakely in on that.
Again, that's Malloy. No gain on the play, picks up second down and goal. Ball's again the spot at the 5.
It's like Township's ready. Vineland adjusts to what Township shows them here at 2nd and goal. Silly gets some yards. He's going to be tackled right about the 2-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 2. Really wish that guy with the down marker would turn it after he sets it, not he turns it and then he runs up the field. Baldacci himself.
He's in, Rich.
Squirts into the end zone for the score for Township.
Number 12, the quarterback.
On the quarterback sneak. 17-6 Vineland with the try for point coming up. Drive aided with a silly penalty. And a big completion on 3rd and long to Bryce Kramer. So the tight end gets open in the middle of the field.
Extra point attempt is good. There's a flag on the
It's
play.
like a roughing or running into the kicker foul on Vineland. As the kick was good. And you only get to hit them if you get a piece of the football.
They can take that penalty, Rich, on the kickoff.
Running into the kicker. And forced on the kickoff. 6:05 remaining in the second quarter. Fighting Plain lead 17-7.
Well, that was a 51, Rich, that was a 51-yard drive, pretty quick. And kind of put them right back in the game now.
Yeah, Vineland's offense is going to need to respond. You know, you get a nice drive, you score, you go up 17. And Vineland's been on the other end of this before. You know, you want to make sure you answer back, make sure you get some points on the board before this first half is done. We're at 6:05 in the second quarter. Of course, halftime, Miss Monogram pageant, I guess you'd call it. They're going to announce the winners of that. Monogram Club, of course, the Varsity Athlete Club. You have to have a letter to be in it. At least that was the way it was when I was in school, and their annual homecoming day crowning. Also, they're voting on the floats, and I believe we have some other people that are going to be introduced, so it'll be a lot of PA address announcer Elliott DeShields at the half, but Vineland football looking to take back control of this one here by mounting a nice drive. The kicker is number 81. I haven't mentioned his name because he's not on our roster. And this is going to go to Broom. Steps back to the 5. Starts heading to the bottom of the screen. And just not enough there as he tried to get to the edge. There's 3 defenders there, and Township does a nice job making the tackle right about the 26-yard line where Vineland will take over. Out a little bit more on the 27, Coach.
Yeah, nice drive here. Take some time off the clock, see if you can get a score before the half.
Well, I expected to see Vineland with a little more success running, but it's been the passing game that's moving the ball. And do you just go back to what's working, or do you try to establish this run? Shelton's going to throw. He floats it complete to Reyes. Reyes looking for a block, now trying to carry defenders, and Reyes is going to take it for a big gain down to the 34-yard line, where it's first down, Vineland.
Ball spotted at the 35 of Washington
Not the
Township.
35.
Again, Sheldon dropping back. Rich, he looks more comfortable today than I think he has all year throwing the ball.
He's like earlier in the year was a little more of the hopping and the tapping and the excitement. This is confidence sitting back in there and just picking this defense apart.
I wonder if he got a little mad that he didn't start.
Tipped and incomplete. The linebacker drops back in a hurry. That's Zach Weichert, who tips that one. It's going to fall incomplete.
He did a good job, Rich, dropping back in his linebacker spot.
See, that's the one thing on film I saw. I know how Vineland, we like to hit that seam or the tight end dump pass when backers start attacking to pull them back. And, they kind of sit a little short, but they're able to get back. There's a give and nothing there for Broom.
Boy, another blitz. Boy, that young man blitzes well. That's about the 3rd time he's blitzed, Rich.
That's your boy Ty Payton again,
Ooh.
Coach.
I like the way he plays football, Rich.
Ty Payton, the senior at 5'8", 180, as we mentioned before on one of his earlier tackles, really delivers every ounce of that 180 on his hits. So 3rd and long now, 3rd and 13. Shelton and Broom stand alone in the backfield. Shelton looks, he has screen, he doesn't want it. He gets to the edge, there's a flag. He runs up the field and he's pushed out. There's a flag in the area of holding back at the 46-yard line.
Might be an illegal man downfield, too. No, couldn't be.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah.
Well, they could have thrown the flag, but then they would just pick it up.
They'll refuse this.
So 4th and 13 or
he
3rd
took
and
the
23
penalty.
about. Well, where that is, that's going to be a much bigger loss than the 10. It's going to be 10 from there from the 44. It's going to put Vineland back at their own 46-yard line, needing to get all the way past the 25-yard line.
Wow. What did Don Meredith say? 3rd and a country mile.
I'm going to call it 29. I'm pointing my fingers, counting my toes. 3rd and 29. And that's one of them tough penalties because the hold happened 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage, which was already 2 yards back. Procedure on Vineland this time.
77, Rich, moved.
So Dutra would have flinched is going to make me do some more math. So it's going to be 3rd and 34. Well, you got Tony with the speed. You got Powell with the size and the speed. And you got Reyes with some speed but the strength. Somebody's going to have to make somebody miss if we're going to convert this one. Instead, Shelton's going to take it himself. And he's wrestled out of bounds at the 47-yard line, where it'll be 4th down. Wouldn't be surprised if Vineland went for it here. I know Coach would.
No.
There we go. Your punter's been one of the stars of this game.
Yes, he has. He's really punted well.
So Nate Snell back to do it again. It's Bachman with the snap.
They've come close, Rich.
Back deep is Anthony Hill, the senior at 5'9", 175, number 44 for the Minutemen. Snell gets it away, angled towards the sideline and out of bounds, right about the 25. '29.
Wow.
So 4:22 to go in the first half. Vineland with the 2-score lead, up 17-7. Washington Township will get the ball to start the second half. So Vineland defense is going to need at least one more stop here. That last drive, it's Reyes back at tackle, having 2 tackles in a row as they tried to run the other side. Gonna look at something. Look at the last guy squatting down up on the line of scrimmage with his hands hanging down. There goes Reyes. This time it's underneath. And Robinson and company up front, along with Blackwell and Delgado. Nothing there for Nasili, who's going to lose about a yard.
Second down. 2nd and 10 to go.
This play's taking a little bit of time. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Vineland sends 2. They get there, but stepping into the nose tackle, Robinson, who makes the sack.
Rich, that was great pass coverage. On that trips on that side, we had every man covered.
And it was a great job by the nose tackle, whose job is not to sack a quarterback, to stop quarterback draw, inside screen. He keeps his man in front of him and is able to come off and make the stop. 3rd and long. Pressure thrown incomplete over the winding hands of number 1, Jaden Allen, who wants another call his way. So now to punt with 3 minutes on the clock. Those 2 incompletions keep a lot of time on the board for Vineland, who I don't believe has used a timeout yet, Coach, so they'll have plenty of time and the football as they send 2 back to return it. Harold and Tony. Vineland's blocked one, may have blocked another. And offsides Vineland.
Rich, that's one thing we pounded into our kids. You watch the ball. You don't have to listen to anybody because the play don't start till that ball moves.
Fortunately,
And you're right on it. You're right on top of it.
It's a short kick.
Attaboy.
Otis Harold trying to do something with it, but a nice tackle by the quarterback, who holds on to the leg. Balducci makes the stop. So defense does its job. Vineland's football, 2:50 to go, up 10 points, looking to add to it, yet to get their running game on track. That new look line with Medina in at center and Bachman switching over to right guard. Shelton stands alone. Vineland looks to be airing this out. Shelton drops, sits on his back foot, steps up through the middle, spins and picks up about 6 or 7.
Ryan Shelton on the return.
Rich,
On the carry.
he ran a long way for that 6 yards, didn't he?
Down and 3
Look.
yards to go for the first.
Yeah, there was just too many defenders. He had Tyreen Powell to give him a little pick, and a little stalk block, but too many defenders in there.
He ran at least 20 yards to get that 6 yards.
They give him more than 6 as it's going to be 2nd and 2. And this time diving forward close to the first down marker. Let's see where they put it on the hash. It's over the nose of the hash. They're signaling first down Vineland. So Vineland gets the first down. Clock is stopped with 2:12. It'll be running momentarily. Plenty of time for Vineland with their 3 timeouts in hand. Score here is like a get-out-of-jail-free card for the second half. Shelton himself through the middle. Surges forward, picks up
Ball carries number 10, Shelton.
maybe about 4 yards on that.
Ball is spotted to 43, brings up second down.
Take
We got
coach.
6 yards to go for first.
3 timeouts left.
And we are at 1:30 and running. Second down and a long 6. Shelton under pressure. Tries to make somebody miss. Floats it to Arthur. He's got to turn on the Jets. He's got the first down to the 35, the 30. Wrestled down at the 27-yard
Wow.
line for a Vineland first
Wow.
down as Shelton is grabbed and held and floats it away.
What a great play by Sheldon. He was on his way down. And
27,
had
the first and 10 for the Fighting Clan of Vineland. Ball again is spotted.
he
at
had the
Washington
football
Township
knowledge, I guess you would say, to know he had a player out there in the flat.
With nobody on it whatsoever. Shelton under pressure. There's going to be a hold on Vineland. Shelton steps out of bounds. It's going to be a hold as
Going out of bounds. Number 24
Dutra commits
is
the
a flag on
foul.
play.
That's going to push Vineland back. Again with these weird down and distance. 10 from the 30. We're going to need 23. It's going to be 1st and 23 when they're done marching around the field here. Yeah, Dutra in that no man's land as Shelton rolls his way. He's got to hold on a little bit, otherwise Shelton's getting sacked and just did a little too much and got called on that one.
Ball
So
spotted
only
at the 40,
13.
first down.
So 23 yards for the first down. First and 23 Fighting Clan. Shelton stands alone. Township just sends force. Shelton has a lot of time. Now he steps up. He's going to use his wheels to get some of this back. Picks up another block. Now Reyes has no one to block. As Shelton dumps into the end zone. Great downfield blocking by the receivers. Shelton sees an opening, and it's almost like, whoa, nobody's here. And he takes it in the end zone as Reyes is down there with nobody to hit to escort him in. So with 37 seconds left, Vineland scores again to go up 23-7 as we wait for the extra point by Garton. Up and good once again for Garton. No flags on the field. 24-7 Vineland with 37 seconds left.
Second quarter, the Fighting Clan of Vineland lead, 24-7.
Rich, that's amazing to
Time
me.
is drawing
How
nigh. Make sure you get down and cast your vote.
Sheldon's eyes are really
All votes
good.
should be completed by halftime.
I mean,
So
he
make sure you make
he
your way
is
under the digital
breaking,
scoreboard located at
and
the
his
west end of the
sight.
stadium to cast your
I
vote
only knew one other
for
kid who could do
your
that, and that was Al
vote.
Brown. Al Brown could pick spots that you just didn't see. And Sheldon is able to do that. It's amazing. He
Yeah.
comes up into that line
Make sure you pass
and
your
he
local.
just has a lane. He knows where he's going. He has a lane and he goes.
Well, that was one of the times where I see him take off with it, and I'm trying to figure out how far is he going to get with this. And, boy, if he didn't know, nobody was there. Like, he made that one move, and then all of a sudden there was no defense on that side of the field whatsoever. So as Coach mentioned, great vision, both when he's passing and when he's running with the football.
Rich, he can play at the next level, and he's got another year. He's only going to get better.
Well, when they've given him time today, I know we like him on the move and all, but when he's sitting in that pocket, he's just dissecting the field. All right, let's see what happens on this pop-up to the 40-yard line, if we hit anybody too hard or not. Josh Allen is back. He was in there 2 times ago. Let's see if he calls a fair catch. He doesn't. And he's hit and dropped right after the catch, as Broom was made to stop the last 3 times. No flag on this one. So 34 seconds to go. Township ball. Vineland just needing to keep him out of the end zone for this short period of time. And we'll take it to halftime with a comfortable lead right now.
Prevent, Rich.
So Blakely's dropped back into safety spot. There's a gift to Nocelli through the middle. He's got an opening. And he's dropped after a gain of about 14. And he's slow getting up. Looks like we'll have to stop it with 27 seconds to go. As their lead running back, Nocelli, is down, holding his ribs.
Pretty good tackle by Blakely there, Rich. He came up, and it was one-on-one tackling, and he got him.
And Nocelli back up, heading to the side, maybe just a wind knocked out of him, but now they're going to put him back on a knee to check him out. Thanks again to today's crew: Kayla Spire, Tanner Bushman, Jordan Skarzinski, crew chiefs Doug Deal and Ryan Steinbaum, and executive producer of VPS TV is GM Missouri School District's Public Information Officer. Don't forget, check this game out, 6 o'clock on Sunday, 7 on Monday on Comcast Channel 9, Verizon Fios 41. Or watch this or any of the activities, football, soccer, whatever's going on in the Vineland School District, by going to YouTube and clicking on VPS Broadcasting. Timeout now called by Township.
You know, Rich, in that drive, we didn't use one timeout. You know,
Yeah.
it was a heck of a 2-minute drill.
Well, it's the evolution, you know, as when you're coaching and you have certain players, you run certain things. Your personnel, you tailor some of the stuff you do to them. And this year it's definitely so much more into the passing game that we haven't done in the past, and haven't done with Coach Russo and Coach Volpe as the offensive coordinator. But that is what they have this year, and they've really shown an ability to throw the ball that we haven't seen here in decades.
If you have a passing game in high school, you can win.
Exactly.
You can win.
So we're back ready to play. It's 1st and 10. Balducci floats it. Oh, what beautiful coverage by Powell, who gains a little leverage and knocks it away from the intended receiver. That one headed for Billy Holman. And Powell just reaches out to tip it away. 19 seconds to go, 2nd and 10. Ball on Township's own 44-yard line. Not much of a rush that time. Township did a great job up front on those Vineland 3. And it's 3 on 6, but let's see if Vineland sends an extra face this time. And it's just a 3, but Reyes is by. It's a screen, though. Turn
Oh.
back to the middle, and there's the
Oh.
flags on that illegal block as it goes for a first down, but penalties right back at the line of scrimmage. That'll set up a 2nd and 20 after they march this off.
Oh, he got blocked in the back, Rich. You can't do that in the open field. You know, that's just, that's in sight of every official.
Yeah, everybody threw their flags on that one. So the foul happened right about the line of scrimmage, so they'll go back 10 more and be 2nd and 20. Time is the factor with just 9 seconds left in the second quarter. Yeah, I'm handing the ball off here, Coach, and I'm going to halftime. And your boy's in the backfield now, 47, Tyee Payton. Let's see if they let Tyee touch it before they go to half. But the time will expire. And that's going to do it for the first half here. Coach, take me through that before we hit this halftime festivities.
Absolutely. Vineland had the ball 7 times, Rich, and Washington Township 6, and the extra time was that fumble on the kickoff. So we got the ball. We punted. Washington Township punted, and we drove, and Garton kicked a 25-yard field goal at the 6:02 mark to let Vineland go up 3-0. Washington Township came back. They missed a field goal. The rest of the first quarter was just going back and forth punting. We took the ball, Washington Township's 28. Sheldon on a 7-yard run into the second quarter at the 11:52 mark. 9-0. Garton's kick was good. Township started a drive in the second quarter on the 49-yard line after a 15-yard penalty on a kickoff. The quarterback 6-yard run, 2-yard run, and made it 76. The kick was good. Now we made it 17-7. Vineland came back with a couple of good scores. Sheldon on a 40-yard run, and Sheldon on a 4-yard run. Both kicks were good, and we are up at halftime 24-7. Rich, it might be the best half of football Vineland's played all year. It really has.
An outstanding half, and we have another half to go. Vineland Marching Band getting ready to take the field. Miss Monogram festivities. We're going to thank our sponsors and step away and turn it over to PA address announcer Elliot DeShields.
Just a reminder again to all class officers, again, we have to clean up those floats. To make sure you go outside the stadium, we have to clean up all the flatbeds. So after the voting's done, they can leave. All class officers involved again with the all float committees. Report to the front end of the stadium. Now entering the field for your viewing and listening pleasure is the 2018 edition of the Vineland High School Marching Clan. That's the 2018 Vineland High School Marching Clan.
Right after that bangs off.
Tina, where were you talking about? No, I'm talking about freshman boys.
Yeah.
That's the second. You gotta let Pop start, bro. Pop did really good last year. He had like 170 rushing yards.
I know. Yeah, Buckles lost.
Again, good afternoon, Clan fans. Right now, it's time to announce our 2018 Miss Monogram. First of all, we'd like to bring out to the white line, all of our contestants in no specific order. First of all, we have Evan Guilford, and she will be escorted by Alicia Soltra. Naya Marshall, escorted by McKinley Maddie.
Did it last year too. The girl, that one guy, escorted by a girl. The girls last year were. I don't know about them.
Grace Panzini, escorted by Daniel Marigi. Jermaine Smart, escorted by Kaylee Grabawi. And Adriana Valentin, escorted by George Vera. Couple of seconds to get them pictures for the whole court.
Oh yeah?
I might. I don't know.
Okay, we're ready. So excited. Our fourth runner-up is Evan Guilford and escort Alicia Soltra.
Who's got the first one?
That's last place.
Oh, I still got a trophy and everything.
Third runner-up, Jermaine Smart and escort Kylie Gravawi.
The maroon girls one.
Second runner-up, Adriana Valentin and escort George Vera. Oh my goodness, I can't take it anymore. First runner-up, Nia Marshall and escort McKinley Maddie. And our Miss Monogram 2018 is Miss Grace Banzini and escorted by Daniel Morigi. Isn't that a beautiful picture, people? Let's give them all a nice round of applause. Yeah, that was applause. Applause. So congratulations again to our 2018 Miss Monogram, Miss Grace Banzini, her escort Daniel Morigi, and their escorts, and the whole court. Thank you so much again for your participation.
Five. Oh, like in total, anybody, whoever wants to run, and then knock it down to 5.
At this time, we ask that everyone please rise and remove your hats for the Vineland High School alma mater. And one last surprise for you today, this afternoon. The winners of the homecoming float is the senior class Congratulations to the senior class in their float, Lollipop Land. We ask that the senior class president, vice president, and the advisors come and accept the winning trophy. Again, congratulations to the senior class, winners of the float competition. And again, their float was Lollipop Land. And believe me, that was some good candy too, by the way. Thank you. Again, before we kick off the second half, the Vineland High School football program would like to thank again all of our sponsors for their support. And please support our local businesses. They do a lot for Vineland High School and Vineland High School football. So please make sure you support our local businesses. Congratulations again to Dr. Mary Gruccio, Vineland Public School Superintendent, on receiving the 2018 Red and Gray Gridiron Lifetime Achievement Award. The Vineland High School football team appreciates your support. The Vineland High School football program would like to thank the VHS Marching Band and the VHS Cheerleaders for all their support all season long. And again, I want to say thank you, many thanks again to all of our class advisors, presidents,
Welcome back to Gittone Stadium here on homecoming day in the game between the Washington Township Minutemen and the Vineland High School Fighting Clan. And probably the best performance of the season for a half. Vineland dominated the first half and is ahead 24-7. All phases of the game. One thing about this half, the first half, their passing game was outstanding. And before I turn over to Rich, we had a tremendous halftime activities with the homecoming queen, the band, and the floats. So Vineland High is, today's a winner, Rich, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, the only thing I can look at and say, what are we going to do, is that rushing attack. It's led by Shelton in the first half, who put up some numbers, and I'll go over those numbers in a minute. But anybody else trying to hand the football off, they're being hit as Shelton's trying to get them the ball. So things need to get shored up on that line, especially in the middle, as they're sending some pressure through the A-gaps. But let's look at these halftime stats. Rushing for Vineland. Tony, 1 carry for -1. Barry Turner, 1 carry for 2 yards. Broom, 1 for -2. Arthur, 2 for 4. Shelton, 10 for 87 with 2 TDs. Shelton, 7 of 14 for 114 yards passing, including a touchdown. Receiving, Reyes, 2 for 52. Arthur, 2 for 19. Tony, 2 for 22. Harold, 1 for 21, and Tony has the touchdown. So Shelton running the ball has been successful, but not even on those quarterback draws, him getting to the edge and taking off from there. So Township stopped anything from happening in the middle of the field in the rushing attack for Vineland.
With this beautiful day. Thank you.
Coach Russo's been out there talking with the refs. I still think he's upset about that call on the kickoff. You know, it was a violent collision, but it didn't look like it there. You know, the guy said he hit him in the helmet, head to head.
He said he hit him with a forearm.
No,
in his helmet.
Coach, he demonstrated, Rich.
Like that.
Helmet to helmet, he went like this.
Yeah, when they were talking, he was showing him extending his arm into the helmet and saying that he hit him in the helmet, because that's why he had his forearm out there, which you're allowed to lead with a forearm. But either way, it was a silly foul. Didn't really hurt Vineland. They scored, but we scored back. But we're going to start out on defense here this time around.
The return has hurt us a little, Rich, in that the kicks have been very short. You know, you got to kick the ball at least 30 yards on the kickoff. You got to put him back there.
And Aparicio has a touchback this year, but when Vineland's kicking off, they're trying to hit a fly ball to the 35 and put it high in the air and see if something can happen. And that's something did on the turnover, something did on the foul. But Vineland, with the speed and size and strength they have, still don't want to kick a ball deep and have to defend it all the way. So that's something that's been going on for years with those short pop-up kicks. Let's see if they let Aparicio put his foot into this one. The wind is at his back, and it has picked up slightly. And he's going to chip it to the 30. Broom in, Broom misses. And a nice combination by Powell and Tony on the stop at the 40.
Yeah, Tony made a good form tackle there, Rich. Took him right in the shoulder pads and knocked him down.
If anyone found a pair of glasses on the football field, can you please return them to the main concession stand located in front of the stadium? Thank you.
Robertson, Malloy, and Reyes up front.
Yeah, they moved Reyes out of the linebacker spot, Rich. And there's more comfortable up on the line spot. He's tremendous coming off that corner.
So fast, and Lathan Kent's filled in the middle and bouncing some linebackers around with Blackwell, Delgado in there also. Broom as a D-back, nothing there up the middle on that one, along with Gregory and Powell back there. Don't forget Barry Turner, number 9, up in the middle, or at the outside linebacker spot, and Blakely, one of the leaders in tackles on this team.
55, Rich.
That's Malloy, the defensive end.
Made a great play on that. Shed his blocker and met the ball carrier right on the line.
Now trying to go wide, cuts to the inside. Great pursuit. Wrapped and thrown down quickly by Kent.
He was brought down in the back, too.
Blackwell was in on that too, Rich, and made a nice play.
Kent, the sophomore, at 6 foot 200 pounds, and Blackwell, the senior, at 5'9", 190. Both in the middle of the field. They're very active for Vineland. 3rd and long. Balducci's looking for something over the middle, and it's tipped and is going to fall incomplete as Powell wipes out the receiver after the tip pass, and it's time for Washington Township to punt.
Good 3 and out for Vineland, Rich.
Yeah, they defended very well on those rushing attempts, and then getting their arms up to deflect that one kind of pops the little bit of air that's left in the Township balloon.
All right, move up just a little. They made a good job of catching the ball last time, Rich.
Yeah, Harold came up and caught it. And this one's going to fall short. Finally take a little bit of a Township roll to the 30-yard line where it's down, where Vineland and Ryan Shelton's offense will take over. Eckert and Bachman at guards. Medina at center. Brandon Anderson and Dutra at the tackle spots. Reyes is your tight end. Wide receivers on the field now. Harold, Tony, and Powell as running back Brooms alongside of Shelton. Ball hits the ground. Shelton jumps on it. Going to be a loss of 5. Shelton just not able to hold on to that one.
Yeah, there was a mistake in the handoff there, Rich.
Nice job cutting back to the middle. If Shelton gets the first down, I kind of got lost watching the tight end, and He just stays on his block and rides them down to open that up. Shelton's vision, as Coach mentioned in the first half, he's right on it. Broom and Shelton. Shelton to pass. It's tipped at the line of scrimmage, almost intercepted. Off the deflection, Anthony Cheeseman just not able to hold on to it. Broom out. Arthur is the running back in. False starter procedure on Vineland. It's going to make it 2nd and 15. Bless you, Coach.
Thank you. Yeah, one thing, if there's a negative to today's game, Rich, it's been the penalties against us. You know, what's that, our third illegal motion penalty? And
Yeah,
then
I
we
believe
had a
so.
holding, and then we had another penalty on that, and it was, what, 3rd in a country mile?
Oh, yeah,
before.
that was a long one. Shelton has time. He wants to go up the field. Now he's under pressure, and he throws it as he's hit over the head of Jackson and over the head of Tony. Shelton just needed a little bit more time on that one. So 3rd and 15.
You know who's been out of our passing game this afternoon, Rich, is Powell. He's been targeted a couple times, but
Yet to get one. And it's thrown and completed for a minimal gain of about 3. Goes Tony.
two of our offensive weapons have been missing this afternoon. Powell and Groom. Groom last week had that long run. It was really great.
He had over 100 yards rushing last week, but he's getting hit before he's touching the ball. So now Schnell had a great first half punting. Punted over the return man's head the one time. Ball got down inside the. This may be gutsy to take it, and he does, and Otis Harold makes a stop immediately. Beautiful tackle by Harold.
Beautiful, beautiful defensive play. Broke down, form tackle, got him, put him right down as soon as he got the ball.
Yeah, Otis has had some really good games lately these past 3 or 4 weeks. You know, he kind of had a rough patch for a little bit and was sharing a little bit of time, but he's certainly established himself on both sides and on special teams. He's become a plus player for Vineland. So Township's second crack with 8:23 on the clock. Hit and dropped in the backfield.
Super play.
It's Reyes in there from that edge. It's hard to run away from him, and when you do, you're running into 55 Malloy, who's really setting the anchor on the other side.
Boy, Reyes looks so much better, doesn't he, Rich, up on the line?
I think there's more responsibility up there and more involvement, and that's where you want a player like that. This time trying to get outside, and they do, but tripped up on a nice tackle by Blakely.
This ball across the 20, throw about 25.
7, Isaiah Blakely comes up and makes a tackle that really saves a first down. He wasn't near the pile at the end, but he's the one that got him going to the ground. Here's a blitz by Vineland. Balducci looks for somewhere to go, and he's swarmed over and wrestled down.
Good coverage. You know, when that happens, Rich, the secondary is doing their job. If he can't find anybody. That's the second.
Few Vineland players in there, one of them Delgado.
That's the second 3 and out. Not bad. Not bad defense at all.
Harold and Tony back to return it. And it's Harold at the 50. Makes a move, stutter steps, and is going to be dropped at the 45. But as Coach mentioned, that way to come up and catch it, saves the roll and the hop. Vineland starting on the plus side of the field at the 47-yard line of the Minutemen.
First and 10 for the Fighting Clan of Vineland, and then the ball will be spotted at the 48 of Washington Township.
It's going to be Broom, 34 in the backfield this time to start this drive. Little play action here, Coach, and I'm going deep to Reyes. But it's a give to Broom. Nice hold this time as he trucks forward for about 8 yards. That's more like it. Nice job up front by Vineland.
That's the first plus yardage by anybody but Sheldon.
They run behind Eckert and Dutra. And center Medina on that left side for that one. Let's see if they hop the other way. As Shelton's going to take it that way. Tries to follow his block. Eckert has a trap block in there. I don't know if he's going to come forward enough for the first down.
No.
It's like a half a yard to me short, third and real short.
Ball is spotted 37, the third and 1. Third and 1 yard to go. First. Officials timeout in field.
And there's a player down on the field for the Minutemen. So as we mentioned, Vineland's passing game as they throw the ball to everybody. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 receivers over 100 yards receiving this year. The rushing attack is Shelton, Broom, then Arthur.
Girls will be playing at 5 p.m., followed by the boys at 7 o'clock p.m. Going out for a very good night of
Big
soccer.
lineman 72. This Jack Dunn at 6'2", 260. He sits on the field and gets attended to.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Grace Panzini, if you didn't see our halftime show, was Miss Monogram for this year. Congratulations to her. And our escort, Danny Marighi. Don't want to let this game get into the sleeper category. You want to score. You want to score again. You want to keep some excitement in this ball game as you get ready for a playoff game, which will be announced after next week.
You're too young to remember a coach named Bud Wilkinson from Oklahoma. Fantastic coach. I went to a clinic one time, and he said when you got a team down, you keep your foot on their throat. You never let up because that's when you get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And he, you know, I'm not saying running it up, but you keep your aggressiveness and keep going.
Yeah, your play calling would be more to not running it up, but you're going to want to execute properly, even if down and distance isn't right for the play. Now we have a third and really short, third and less than a yard. Shelton in the shotgun. He's got Broom alongside of him. Vineland hasn't been able to run the middle. Instead, they pass the middle as it's complete for a first down to Tony.
Boy, he's become a real target for Shelton, hasn't he?
Oh, my goodness, yeah. I ran into his brother, Taiwan Cosby, who was the inside linebacker and leading tackler a few years ago. I didn't know they were brothers still. I was in line to get pizza at halftime, Coach.
Boy, you learn something at the pizza stand.
Everywhere I go. So 1st and 10, Vineland converts it. Broom, nothing there. Swarmed over and dropped.
Broom on the carry. One of the plays is 2nd down and 11.
It's weird. The offensive line is really having trouble getting a push to allow people to run the ball.
Yeah.
But they're pass blocking pretty well. Yeah, and that's why on that 3rd and short, your traditional just run it and pick up a half a yard. It's the pass play that's there. Vineland loses a yard. It's going to be 2nd and 11. And they run counter. Here's Arthur. Stays on his feet and scrapes forward close to a first down. He's going to be about a yard or two short. But a 3rd and short upcoming. A 3rd and a short 2. I think we have a flag on the field. I don't see it, but I heard them say it. It's a hold on Vineland. So we'll do that play again. 4 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter.
Oh, boy. I told you, Rich, the one negative this entire game. This is the most penalties we've had in a long time. You know, we got out of that habit of bad penalties.
And on a nice run, too. So now it's going to be 2nd and 23.
Yeah, we're getting close to that country mile again, aren't we?
Yeah, we really racked it up last time. Shelton to throw. Steps up. Fires. Incomplete to Reyes.
That pass still falls incomplete. There's a 3rd down.
Again, he hasn't targeted Powell. I've got to keep my eye on Powell. I'm not sure if he's open or not, but
Seems like most of the game, Powell's been locked up with Bryce Kramer, listed at 5'11", 160. He wears a big man's number 88.
yeah, he is. Look, he's coming on this side to guard him.
Now Powell's all the way at the bottom by himself. Shelton looks to Powell. It's a pump and go. And Powell dives and makes the reception.
Number 22, Tyrone Powell.
Powell does an outstanding job on that one, diving down, scooping the ball up. So a big gain for Vineland, but they had a really long way to go, so it's going to be 4th down now. 4th and about 6. Shelton to throw it again. There's pressure. He spins away from a couple of them, and there's a flag in the backfield.
That's another hold on us, Rich. Man.
So the holding call is declined as Shelton goes down in his sack, so Vineland will turn it over on downs. And back to that defense on the field as we're down to 3:19 to go in the 3rd. As the wind has really picked up and it's blowing heavily into the face of Washington Township now. So even on that one, on the double move, on the pump and then go to Powell, there's a safety over top in the way of that. So he makes the diving catch, but short of the first down. But I think Powell's presence is opening up some others, kind of like when you have that dominant defensive lineman that gets a double team all the time. It helps everyone else.
Yeah. He's quite a target to forget about.
Tayyip in the backfield, and he's getting the ball over the top. He's got room, and he's got Powell, and Powell makes the tackle, but he picks
Great
up about
tackle.
3. A little bit of switch as Peyton gets the carry.
47, that's Tyree Payton on the carry.
That's a good form tackle, Rich. Low. Can't get away.
2nd and 7. Baldacci's going to take it himself to the top, and he's hit and dropped. Like Delgado in there with Malloy.
Yeah, good play.
So they're going to lose some. It's going to be 3rd and 10. And we're under 2.5 minutes in this third quarter. See if Vineland can get some pressure here. Thrown short and incomplete.
Pass tip is incomplete.
So time to pump for Township.
That's 3 in a row, Rich.
And I don't know that they've gained any yards, Coach.
3 threes and out.
Harold and Tony back to return this one. They stand at their own 40-yard line. Looks like that'll be the 37 where Vineland will take over.
Ball is spot 37. First step for Fighting Plans.
Boy, now be time for a nice drive, Rich. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
I know sometimes people are good at certain things and you attack with others, but would be nice here to establish that running game. If you can get a little more from up front. You know, as the games will be getting tougher in the playoffs, you've got to be able to control the football sometimes. And there's Broom over the left side. He's got an opening. He dips to the top of the screen to the 40, 30. No flags on the field. 10-5. Touchdown. Nazir Broom. That helps your rushing yards as he hit that with a burst of speed and just
63 yards, Rich.
And does so.
63-yard run.
Broom, the junior, at 5'9", 176. He was one of the leading tacklers on defense when he was playing linebacker, but with all the injuries, Truss Cooper, Tall Kennedy amongst them in the defensive backfield, he switched to his defect position where he doesn't really get to make as many tackles, but was an outstanding tackler as a linebacker. And Garton puts it up and good and over into the bus parking lot. So Vineland adds on 31-7 Fighting Clan with just 1:47 to go in the third.
Well, we did see Broom's explosiveness like last week. And it's to call that play, Rich, it's really an angle run. It's our old tackle blast where you went off the end, and if there's no end there to stop you, you know, there's you got some good yardage. That's why it's really a tough thing to do in a running game without a tight end. You must have a tight end. People say, no, you can run without it. No, you can't. We tried it one year and we couldn't do it. That tight end is so important. He picks off the linebackers. He seals the corner. He takes care of the tackle on a double team. There's so many things he does for your running game.
And the other thing is he sets your defense. So depending on what you're running, you can put him on and run away from your tight end and pull people over if you're running dive or something where it's not as crucial.
Always had a better running game with a tight end. And when you get a good tight end, he's worth his weight in gold because now he can run that little hook over the middle. And
Mm-hmm. Aparicio looking to see where he's kicking it. That one's going to come to the 25. Hit, spinning out of one tackle, spinning out of another for Tyreen Powell, and Blakely make the stop.
Ball carrier number 25.
It's a little bit more of what I've seen from Township on film. A little tenacity, some pushing and shoving, some chirping, and I think they may have got caught this time. There's going to be the 15 variety coming off, so instead of starting at the 40, as that's a dead ball foul, they're going to start at the 25 off the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. It looked like Otis Harold or Tony, one of them, got pushed after the play and wisely did not retaliate, and Vineland picks up the 15.
my boy did a little jawing on that one, the kid I really like.
Number 4, Harold.
Peyton.
Oh, your boy from the other side. Balducci to throw, almost intercepted as Powell dives over the intended receiver, Brandon Leone, who dove for it. Powell goes over the top of him on the way down, nearly picks it.
Well, can we go 4? 4 straight 3-and-outs.
Well, they got a couple backs here. Let's see if they just try to get a lead blocker, and they do. It looks like he's going to have the first down.
Yeah, Peyton.
Hard running by number 47,
Tyree Payton. And he still has something to say. He's going to get himself another penalty in a minute.
First and 10 for Washington Township. Ball spotted at the 37.
This is where you like to see Reyes or Delgado square him up one time.
That's number 47, Peyton on the carry again.
Nothing of that time for Peyton.
No gain on the play.
Those of you who remember Super Tecmo Bowl, that's kind of like I was spying on Reyes that time. And as he scrapes down the line, whether you're on his team or somebody else's team, he's just running through you. Kind of looked like when you used to shake the D-pad. Now they try to run underneath. That's a blown play. Staying up on his feet. Flags hit the field. It's going to be a loss of about 3. I want to see what the penalty is.
Number 56.
Delgado believes it's another hold on Township.
There's a flag on the play.
Third and 13.
Rich.
Or second and about 26. Now they're calling holds both sides.
Offsetting penalties.
So Vineland's the only loser on that, as Vineland had sacked the quarterback for a loss of about 3. Tyree Payton out of the backfield now. McCallop stands alongside Baldacci. Nothing there in the middle. Nowhere for them. They got nowhere for either team right up the gut. Well, it was Vineland's line making that big seam last
Oh,
time.
Blackwell made a great play on that, Rich. Really a
And
super
that's the
play.
third quarter.
This is the part where everybody gets excited because it's the fourth quarter and you stick your 4 fingers in the air. I don't get it, Coach. I don't get it. I kind of like the third quarter's kind of fun, too. Yeah, the first and second aren't too bad.
How about the Bell High School cheerleaders out there doing their thing?
So Vineland seemingly in control of this one. It's going to be a 3rd and long.
Rich, we're getting so excited we're breaking the booth up.
Well, I heard they're going to do something with these booths for next year. I can't wait to see a little hole in the door, like an 1.5 inch pipe, so this crew can just put stuff right through that opening and the doors will work. You're pulling nails out of stuff. We're not breaking them down yet. We have Millville here for sure on Thanksgiving Day. Millville, of course, on a roll in Group 4 South. They're up top and right in front in the West Jersey Football League passing yards leaders.
Do you know,
Millville's
Rich,
quarterback 1 step ahead of Shelton by 8 yards.
they're going to be that number 1 seed in Group 4. If they had gone 3-5, they would have been the number 1 seed.
Vineland sends extra.
Oh, boy.
This one complete to McCallop, who high steps his way for a first down before he's brought out.
That was Joe. Go.
Boy,
McKillop.
I'll tell you, I like Blakely's tackling ability. He really, he don't jump, he just breaks down, which you should do. He made a great open field tackle on that last play.
Squirting through for a couple in the middle there, make it 2nd and long.
Second. About 7 yards to go, ball.
It's the best Washington Township's looked this half, Rich. They had a first down, which was their first.
They've been flip-flopping running backs back there. And a procedure call, that's going to put them back behind the stick.
Rich, as good as the St. Joe game was, I thought it was the best ref game of the year. They let the kids play. I think there was 2 flags, and one of them was a pink one. I didn't know what it was. When they
Yeah.
threw it.
2nd and 12.
This has got to be the 20th penalty in this game.
To throw. Balducci has it as a receiver. He ducks back in, almost has it ripped from his hands once, and he's brought down, and forward momentum's going to set up a 3rd and about 4. And there's a flag on Vineland.
another one.
Foul roughing the passer against Vineland.
Holy mackerel.
So that's going to be enough for the first down with the roughing the passer tacked on with 11:02. Township picks up some easy yards down to the Vineland 31-yard line.
This reminds me of Township's first score when that 15-yard penalty. Now it puts them in. Look at the position. Well, it's our fault.
Yeah, but an offense like that, like you're saying, you give them that little bit of extra, and
Yeah.
then it becomes something feasible for them to complete and do. Give up the middle. It's about the best they've looked up the middle, and again, once again, that's
That's a
McKillop.
new running back.
McKillop's the one that had the first down run to the top of the screen. They've used McKillop, number 5, Holman, 25, and Tyree Payton, 47. McKillop with blockers to the top, picks his way to the inside, stays on his feet.
That's number 5, McCallum.
And he's probably been the most successful runner they've had today.
Across the 20 to about the 16. Be 1st and 10 for Washington Township.
So Township on the move with just over 10 minutes to go, 1st and 10. Inside the 20, McKillop again trying to get wide as the flag hits the field again. He's going to pick up about 3. Look for the early indication of this foul. It's thrown where you usually get that offensive holding. But we've seen 2 defensive holdings on this drive. And this one just on the offense.
Holding against Washington Township.
You think their arms are tired from throwing the flag? Yeah, I'm sure they're calling what they're saying. But this has been a penalty-marred game.
And all different kinds of penalties, too. 9:54. Township's got a long way to go. Pressure. Hit. Breaks free. Another flag hits the field. Tipped. Incomplete. That's going to be another hold, and where that happened, that was about 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. This is going to push them back to around their 47-yard line. So Vineland will probably push them back again. Push him back, way back.
Yeah.
You remember that one, Coach, another holding call.
My goodness.
Hey, you only get holding calls if you're really busting your tail on the other side, too, so nice job by the pressure from that defense to get these calls. Because if you're not about to sack the quarterback and you're not near the ball, they're not going to bother holding you.
This is the 3rd country mile we've seen, Rich.
I don't know. I'm not going to do the math. I'm going to lean over and see what they say.
They're going to get to this 6-yard line for a first down.
So 29 yards. There's the give. Nice short tackle by Tyreen. Oh, make that Blackwell. 33s. Blackwell on a 1 or 2 yard gain only.
Boy, he's played a good game on defense, Rich. Blackwell, Delgado, Reyes. They've really put a lot of pressure on Washington Township.
Boy, and this is a nightmare for Township because most times Vineland's just sending 3 attackers, 3 linemen against these 5 guys. And here comes late pressure, hit and dropped and sacked. A big loss on the play of about 7 or 8. Not sure that was Delgado came up and folded him up.
3rd down.
And Delgado came late. He wasn't on the initial rush. But I guess his guy stayed in the block, which gave him a free run in there. And the late pressure gets him. They need over 40 yards on this. Baldacci throws it, caught, getting a knee down inbounds.
That was Bryce Kramer on the reception.
Goes Kramer.
There's a 4th down.
They are
Spotted at the 36.
on the 36. So they need 29 yards again. So 4th and 29.
He must have got out of bounds, Rich. They stopped the clock.
It was weird when he dropped to his knee to try to stay in. Maybe he's got some good food lined up tonight for dinner, Coach. And looks like Coach Russo is going to take a timeout there.
Rich, I think that's the first time out of the game.
I believe so.
Yeah, we didn't call any first half, and Township didn't call any.
I think the Township called one this half, or last half. Whenever it was when running back number 25 was hurt and stayed on the field. And then when they finally got him up, they called timeout so he could get back in on the next play. Not sure if that was the 2nd quarter or the 3rd, but I know they've used one today. Not that it should be a factor with Vineland in control of this one, 31-7. As we mentioned, next week, Vineland's bye week is they'll get to rest up, hopefully get healthy as there's still some players banged up, working their way back in. Hopefully we'll have more of them back in the lineup and just add some more depth. But Vineland will be awaiting the announcement of who they're playing and most likely where they're traveling to for their playoff game in 2 weeks. Coach mentioned the records of Millville, even if they were 2-5 or whatever being in there. And I do think the records aren't what we're used to seeing for the playoffs, but I think we're identifying the best teams in each group pretty well with the new Born Power Index, the combination of all the PowerPoint stuff they're doing. McKillum staying in the block. And there's another hold and a tackle. So this is a free play for both teams, basically, as he's knocked out. They'll probably decline it and just take the ball. But a great rush by Malloy, who gets held instead of getting the sack.
Vineland will take over, Rich.
Well, that last drive was only a couple plays, maybe even just one for Vineland, as it was Nazir Broom on a long 63-yard run. This time Broom and Shelton in the backfield. Tight end Eli Anderson, the sophomore at 6'2", 195, checks in. Looks like Coach Russo's going to wait a little bit and call a timeout here, as Vineland stayed in the huddle quite a while. But looks like they're going to get it off. Shelton the Broom, forward for 4.
That's Broom on the carry. So we put about 4 on the play, but it's second down about 6 yards to go. Ball be spotted at the 29.
Yeah, Broom looks like he's getting his second win, Rich.
This time Shelton tries to pick his way, squares the shoulders. Good yard's going to set up third and short, third and about 2. Shelton down right now.
How many yards do you have in the first half, Rich? You had this stat. Rich, I don't see Sheldon. I hope he's not down.
Yeah, it's Shelton that's down on the field, Coach.
Oh, boy.
In the first half, Shelton had 87 yards rushing.
Yeah, I was going to say, he could be a 100-yard rusher in this game.
Tomorrow, Philadelphia Eagles be taking on the Carolina Panthers. Game time will be 1 o'clock
It's
p.m.
third and 2, but more concern for Shelton, who's down on the side.
The Washington Redskins will be taking on the Dallas Cowboys
Barry Turner
at 4:25 p.m.
jumping in at quarterback.
Spread is about even. Hey, what's up with the Blues out there? Hey.
Starting defensive player. The beginning of the year at camp, it was a good battle between the two from everything the coaches told us. And Shelton established himself, not just with this team, but around the league, as he's gingerly coming off. So third and short. Turner in for Shelton. We've got all the regulars up front. Pal, Jackson, Tony. Now Blakely checks in. And we're ready to go. 7:30 to go in the ball game. Not much there for Broom, but he may have just powered his way through for the first down.
Yeah.
Big first down run as he was about 12 inches off the ground a few yards back and just keeps moving forward and gets a nice first down for Vineland. That'll keep the clock moving. So just like the NFL, Shelton in the Vineland Athletic pop-up booth on the sideline. Now to the top. It's Arthur. Picks up about 6 on the carry.
Big ball across the 45.
Oh, that was a nice play by the young man. That's the first time I saw him cut it up, Rich. He did not.
To the 48. He first and 10 for the Fighting Land of Vineland. Ball spot at the 48.
Boy, and the experience he's gaining, he's not just in there because we're winning big. There's games he's been the lead feature back, getting the most touches, utilizing him a little bit more in the passing game. So with that first down, it's Turner with Arthur alongside. Give to Arthur. Swallowed up and dropped by Zach Andrews for no gain.
That'll be a loss of 1 on the play to the second and 11. Ball spot at 47.
Vineland in no hurry at 6 minutes and running. Turner looking to throw. He eludes the pressure. He's looking for somebody to get it to. It tripped up, scraping across the field is Blakely. Now to go incomplete. Conrad Jackson checks in, number 81. He has a couple touchdowns this year and almost 200 yards receiving. And Otis Harold's hobbling off, a little banged up. So 3rd and 11. Still Turner and Arthur. Ball's loose. Turner picks it up. He's face masked, fumbles the ball. Dutra seems to have recovered it.
Covered by Vineland.
So it's going to be punt time as Schnell's going to come in. He's had a real nice day kicking the ball today.
We go 4th down.
Peyton back to return the Schnell kick. Snell gets it away and is hit. It's going to take a nice hop, roll into the 30, and down at the 26-yard line by Blakely.
26.
Can't have a wrestler be your punter, Coach. You need a punter to punt. Not that Schnell hasn't done great, but a punter would have fell over and act like he was half dead as two guys collided with Schnell. When you have that wrestling mentality, you don't leave your feet.
Isaiah Pacheco ran for 76 yards on 11 carries. And a touchdown.
So 4:26 to go. Township's football at their own end of the field at the 26-yard line. Vineland managed to move the ball a little bit and took some time off the clock. Well, when they've had two backs in there, they've kind of just used the one as a lead blocker. Let's see what's going to happen here. And sure enough, that's the case. And falling forward for some yards is Joe McKillop.
Ball carrier game number 5.
Boy, this fourth quarter is going by quick, Rich.
You think?
These teams only had the ball once.
Second.
Township had it at the end of the third quarter, which went into the fourth quarter.
Vineland sends extra people up this time.
Ball carrier number 25. Son, that's Billy Holman.
And moving forward for maybe a gain of about a yard goes Holman.
Is a third down.
Yeah, we haven't seen their good back this half, have we, Rich?
He was in the last drive, 25. They got him out at the wing. The Tyree Payton, who didn't carry in the first quarter, just won in the second. He's been out since he had the personal foul and then almost got another one. He's not been back in. So it looks like some kind of discipline on that side of the field. Nothing there for Balducci. Reyes has the football. Get in the end zone. Boy, he was held up and Reyes ripped it from him. Took it to the end zone. And they're calling him down, which his forward momentum probably was stopped, but you keep moving until you hear those whistles. Make sure you get in the end zone. So 4th down and 4. Now, for some reason, Township's going to go for it with 2 minutes and 36 seconds. 3 receivers at the bottom, 2 up top. How are they going to block for him on this? And it's a quick hitter. Thrown for the first down. Sure enough, that was a catch and throw, kind of a screen out there. Because if you don't leave a back in there, Vineland shown with just 3 guys, they're going to get to you before you can set your feet. Let's see if Malloy or Reyes can get one more here. They're picked up. It's floated high and incomplete. Broom on the coverage. It goes right through the fingers of Bryce Kramer. So that'll stop the clock with exactly 2 minutes to go. Again, thanks to today's crew: Kayla Spire, Tanner Bushman, Jordan Skarzinski, crew chiefs Doug Deola and Ryan Steinbrown, and executive producer of VPS TV is GM Story, the school district public information officer. 2nd and 10. It's a little screen. It's dumped off, but hit and dropped in a hurry.
Boy, great play there.
And that's that nose tackle we don't get to call too much because nobody wants to run his way. That's George Robinson. Screens are his job, Coach, just like that quarterback draw was, and he's been there all day.
Excellent play.
Being a nose guard's kind of like being an offensive guard or center. You don't mention you're doing a good job. 3rd and long. That defensive line a little petered out, but here comes Reyes back in.
Pass is complete to number 5. Go down to 34, pick up 4th down.
Boy, this quarter is flying by, Rich.
He's got a man, and he's got a step. But not able to make the completion with 50 seconds to go. Vineland will take over.
Take a knee, Rich.
Tell you what, I'm taking a knee, Coach.
Take a knee. You wouldn't believe me last time.
Listen.
Take a knee.
I'm taking a knee. But.
No.
Here we go.
No buts.
If Township happens to call a timeout, then I'm going to try to score this football again. I'm going to give you the chance when I take a knee. If you do something silly, like using one of your 2 timeouts you got left, then everything's off.
Nah.
Yes.
Take a knee.
And Vineland is in victory formation, as it's called, as Barry Turner steps in, takes a knee. And see, they just avoided 6 more points. I was kind of rooting they could call a timeout. And that's going to do it. They're going to have to do that one more time. as they officially make the ball ready for play. They're going to snap it, kneel on it, and that should take us to the end of this one. Vineland's defense strong in this game. Offense through the air, got it done till Broom broke one late. Coach, if you want to take me through that rapidly moving second half.
Absolutely, Rich. Started the second half, Vineland was ahead 24-7. Not much went on to the middle of the third quarter. And at the end of the third quarter, Vineland on a Broom 63-yard run with 1:47 to go in the third quarter made the score 31-7. Going into the fourth quarter, each team only had the ball twice. Both of them had the ball and ran out of downs. Each team ran out of downs. Township twice, and Vineland punted. And Rich, a big win for Vineland, 31-7. A great first half of ball they played, and they played a pretty good defensive second half. And, that's a good win for them.
Yeah, and they controlled the whole game. The closest it was 17-7, and Vineland responded with that next score. Nice job offensively, defensively. Hopefully Ryan Shelton's going to be all right. The good news is all the players on the Vineland side, your bye week is next week. It's a week off for me and you, Coach, also, as Vineland to find out who they're playing in the playoffs a week from today. So hopefully it's a nice matchup, and somehow we end up at home. I know everybody tells me we can't, but I'm holding out hope.
I don't think so, Rich.
Well, once again, thank you to everybody, and thank you to our sponsors, and we'll mention them right after Coach gets us out of here.
I'm John Parentazzi, co-coordinator, and of course my partner, Rich Garber, play-by-play on a big win here at homecoming for Vineland High. Have a great week.
The Red and Gray Gridiron Club would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of Vineland High School football team this season. Sir Speedy, Reconstructive Orthopedics, Ducharmes, the Greenview Inn at Eastland Golf Course, Newfield National Bank, Larry's 2 Restaurant and Caters, Allen Associates, Delsey ShopRite, Bella Limousine, Medio Law Firm, The Claridge, a Radisson Hotel, Technid Consulting, Vineland Education Association, Begel University, Manny and Vic's Pizzeria and Restaurant, MVP Sports Bar, Richland Carpet and Flooring, GNS Dry Cleaners, Carluzzo and Teresi Petroleum Transporters, Bondi Insurance Agency, Dr. Gorson General and Cosmetic Dentistry, Baruffi Brothers, Beretta Plumbing, Heating and Cooling,
Luciano Medical, Van Dodge, and Homestead Plumbing and Heating.
The Vineland High School football team and coaches thank everyone for their support on and off the field and look forward to another successful season.